Look down at your feet right now. The solid floor. You are standing on the physical room. You are sitting in the actual distance between your eyes. And this screen, it is all a mathematical lie. A grand hallucination written directly into the base code of the universe. For over 100 years, we blindly believed Albert Einstein when he told us that space and time were a tangible physical fabric. A smooth, beautiful trampoline bending and warping under the heavy weight of stars and planets. We built our entire modern civilization, our communication, satellites, our global positioning systems, our fundamental understanding of physical reality on that single geometric image. But modern physics is currently having a brutal panic attack because the most brilliant theoretical minds on Earth have just realized that space and time do not fundamentally exist. They are not the absolute static stage where the events of reality happen. They are a glitch, a neurological and mathematical illusion, an emergent projection from a lower dimensional boundary that we cannot even see or touch. We are about to violently tear apart the greatest trick ever played on the human mind. Think of a modern open-world video game. When you play, you see infinite landscapes, rolling mountains, deep oceans, and endless skies. You feel like you can walk forward forever into a breathing, living world. But if you walk right up to the television screen and press your eye against the glass, the illusion violently shatters. The beautiful blue sky is just a dead grid of red, green, and blue squares. Pixels turning on and off in rapid succession. The world inside the game has no real physical depth. The depth is a massive trick played on your visual cortex by a flat two-dimensional monitor running millions of algorithmic calculations per second. Now apply that exact same psychological terror to your actual biological life. Physicists spent the last century trying to put a metaphorical microscope to the fabric of reality. They desperately wanted to zoom in on space itself to see the raw, microscopic threads holding it all together. They tried to mathematically combine the equations of general relativity, which neatly rule the massive galaxies, with the chaotic laws of quantum mechanics, which rule the tiny subatomic particles. And the math committed suicide. The equations threw up infinite errors and completely refused to cooperate. They mathematically predicted that if you zoom in close enough, space stops being a smooth, predictable surface. It becomes a boiling, violent, chaotic nightmare called quantum foam. At a microscopic scale of 10 to the power of -35 meters, a minuscule distance, known as the Planck length, the very concept of physical distance completely loses its mathematical meaning. You cannot physically move half a Planck length because space itself does not mathematically exist smaller than that. It is the hard pixel limit of the entire universe. And just like the video game, if our universe has a strict pixel limit, it means the three-dimensional reality we experience every single second is being projected from somewhere else entirely. This is exactly where human logic goes to die. Enter the black hole information paradox. When Stephen Hawking proved mathematically that black holes evaporate, he accidentally triggered the greatest existential crisis in modern physics. If a black hole slowly shrinks and eventually disappears, what happens to all the physical stuff that fell inside it over billions of years? Quantum mechanics dictates an absolutely unbreakable law that information can never ever be destroyed. If you burn a heavy physical encyclopedia, the information is still technically there, encoded in the smoke and the thermal radiation, and the scattered ashes. But a black hole destroys absolutely everything. It permanently deletes the data of reality. To save physics from total catastrophic collapse, scientists had to invent a desperate mathematical lifeline. They discovered through agonizing mathematical calculations that the information of everything that falls into a black hole is not actually stored in the deep, dark, infinite volume of the hole. It is smeared and scrambled entirely across the two-dimensional surface of the event horizon, the outer boundary. Let that sink into your skull for a few seconds. A massive three-dimensional object has all of its internal data completely encoded on its flat two-dimensional skin. This mathematical realization sparked a terrifying theoretical revelation called the Holographic Principle. It states that the entire three-dimensional universe you and I inhabit is operating on exactly the same mechanic. The volume of space all around you is a complete illusion. All the solid matter, all the radiating energy, all the violent history of the cosmos is actually a flat two-dimensional field of quantum data interacting on the infinitely distant mathematical boundary of the universe. We are the hologram, the three spatial dimensions we move through, the linear time we experience ticking constantly forward. It is all a complex projection, a trick of the light generated from a deeper, flatter mathematical reality. The math of the anti-de Sitter conformal field theory correspondence proves this beyond a shadow of a doubt. It shows a perfect mathematical dictionary between a complex universe with gravity and a flat universe without gravity. Gravity is not a real force pulling you down to the earth. Gravity is just the thermodynamic byproduct of quantum entanglement happening on a flat surface very far away. Space is not an empty physical box waiting to be filled. Space is the network of quantum entanglement itself. When subatomic particles entangle, they stitch together the mathematical illusion of physical distance. If you break the quantum entanglement, you literally tear a hole in space. You successfully delete the physical distance between two distinct points. You do not just bend the physical rules, you rewrite the base source code of physical existence itself. But the truly terrifying part is not merely that you are living inside a massive cosmic hologram. The absolute nightmare is what this mathematical reality means for your concept of time and your desperate human belief in free will. If space is an illusion created by quantum entanglement, then time is just a byproduct of that same thermodynamic math. Time does not actually flow. The past is not gone, and the future is not waiting to happen. Every single second of your life, your violent birth, your deepest psychological traumas, your inevitable physical death already exists simultaneously on that flat outer boundary. Our biological brains evolved to perceive this static data as a moving cinematic picture, because processing the entire mathematical truth all at once would instantly melt our biological minds. You feel like you are making conscious daily choices, moving forward, fighting bravely against the current of destiny. But you are just a physical needle reading the static grooves of a vinyl record. The music is already permanently pressed into the plastic. You are just experiencing the linear playback of the song. Massive technology companies and advanced artificial intelligence architectures are already using these exact principles to manipulate you right now. Deep learning neural networks map high-dimensional complex human data down to lower-dimensional latent spaces to perfectly predict human behavior. They treat you exactly like the holographic principle treats the entire universe. A predictable set of two-dimensional data points masquerading as a complex, free-thinking, independent entity. They know your next move before you do, because mathematically your next move is already completely written in the data structure. You are a highly predictable equation in a universe that does not even have true physical depth. We are standing at the absolute jagged edge of human comprehension, and there is no turning back. The crisis in physics is not just an abstract math problem written on a dusty chalkboard in an elite university. It is the violent physical dismantling of your entire personal existence. The physical world is a ghost, a mathematical shadow cast by quantum geometry, and every single day we get closer to hacking the base projector. If you want to survive the rapidly coming technological shift, you absolutely need to wake up from the biological illusion. You need to aggressively understand the source code of the matrix before the projector is turned off for good. Do not let the blind algorithm dictate your reality or quietly steal your attention. Smash the like button right now to force the system to show you the truth, and click the video on screen to shatter the next illusion, because if you want to see the real world, you have to.